It's Leslie Meredith with Breakbulk Events and Media. I'm here in Houston at Breakbulk Americas. We've just finished a Carriers and Shippers panel, and I'm delighted to introduce Lana Warren from Maersk. How are you?
I'm great, thank you. I'm
Good.
so delighted to be here.
Yeah, it's great to see you. And I will say that Lana was stood out. You were the only woman up there on our Carriers and Shippers, so great there. And also the only container line.
True.
Yeah. So what were your thoughts going into this session? And was there anything surprising that you heard today?
Great question. First of all, honestly, I was terrified to go up. I thought, with rates the way they are, capacity issues galore, I'm going to have so many people that will see us as a target. And I hoped that I would have a chance to tell a little bit more about what we're doing as a company around capacity, because I feel like that people don't understand what's going on behind the scenes to try to even things out and fill these gaps. So I think for me, in terms of what I got, was a much more welcoming atmosphere, a lot more understanding, which validates what we've been seeing, these open, honest discussions with our BCOs and our forwarder base, customers across the board. And that was very reflective in how things went on the panel today, I thought.
Well, it was so clear, just sort of the whole feeling on the panel. We have done these carrier shippers for many years around the world, and it is just basically just very much veiled hostility, shall we say, just a lot of friction between the two sides, and I absolutely did not feel that today.
Nor did I. Nor did I. I think it is different. And one of the things, I was joking a little bit about the whole, we've all been in the same boat, but we have been. What we've been through with COVID, is bigger than all of us. It transcends what our petty arm wrestling may have been in the past, and it has opened the eyes of, and I hope the consumer, down to the consumer level, to understand the role that logistics and transportation globally plays in the supply chain. I don't think as many people thought before when they went to the shelf and it was out of something, why? It's just the store didn't stock it correctly or what have you. But if you're trying to order a washing machine and you can't get it, the perfect brand you've always loved isn't there, discontinued items. This has people starting to look more at what we do. And it's more than just providing the consumer goods. It's really looking at, and I think this morning during the FMC Commissioner's talk, when he mentioned about chemicals for clean water. Imagine if we couldn't meet that demand to actually provide for small towns and larger areas. They couldn't even have a water system in place. So it starts to connect dots at a much higher level than just the one container that didn't make a ship somewhere. And then it really resonates with the entire logistics chain.
So do you think, as we've gone through maybe the last year and a half of COVID together, all of us here, how have you seen the relationship between a carrier such as Maersk and a shipper, Bechtel we had, for instance, on this panel? Have you seen the dynamics between the two parties change at all?
I believe so. I really do believe so. I think for the first time we're really looking at, this. We all have the same issues. It's not just me and my customer, it's you and your customer, it's your customer and their customer, it's the end user of that customer. There's not a space that it's not affected. So more than ever, we have to come together to really have open dialogue to say, hey, look, I know that you don't have that much room, but this is why it's important. Back to the water chemical treatment, this is why it's important. So I think that we're looking more beyond just the box, what's inside the box, what's inside that box, who is it going to, what's the need, and trying to prioritize on that basis of demand, then it does require that we're really speaking openly with one another. These major, you mentioned Bechtel, some of the infrastructure projects that Bechtel is engaged in employs thousands of people when that's up and running. Also contributes to our national infrastructure in terms of support for petrochemicals and other oil and gas products, let's say. If they can't get that built and ready for us, all the advanced planning we all made that supply and demand is then going to be met, it's off the table again. So it's very intricate, and I think COVID has demonstrated more than ever the dance that we have to make in tandem.
If you could ask for one thing from your shipper customers, what would it be?
Hey, let's be flexible. I'll give you an example and why this is important. We, APM Aller Company also owns APM Terminals, so we have Pier 400 in Los Angeles with incredible backlog. And what we looked at is, okay, what else can we do to alleviate this and stop some of the detention in the demurrage building? Let's run hours at night. Let's open up on the weekends. Let's make this available to people to get into the port and book appointments. So we roll this out to our customer base to say, great, we're all about it, let's do it. And we have appointments booked, and they say, yes, we want to do this, we want to do this. And then we order gangs, the port brings in personnel, we set up staffing for it to make sure we can accommodate. And right now, 30% of those bookings are no-shows. So we have to work together when we're looking at solution to understand that it's difficult for us to plan well if we aren't understanding why we're trying to push what we're doing. A dwell time on containers is another big issue for us, really, because we have people that are trying to use containers for storage because they don't have warehouse space. There is no warehouse space. Or they can't get trucks to move them. And what happens then is those containers that are desperately needed to be turned back in, so we have empties available to ship back to Asia or to the next port where they're needed, is not there. So the backlog deepens. So I think the understanding with our shippers to realize that when we're on the phone, and we are on the phone saying, hey, dwell time is terrible. Can you get your containers in? What can we do to help you? How about a weekend appointment? And they say great and not show up. It's not helping. And the continuance of this dialogue to say this is what we really need, and let us express what we can actually cover and look at solutions together. I think that's very important.
Absolutely. Well, I'm so glad that you are sharing that with us on the panel, sharing it here with our wider audience, because I think that kind of transparency and that dialogue and the message that you have can be spread to so many others. So
I
thank
certainly
you.
hope so. It's what's going to take us forward. Thank you so much.
Thank you.